Hey team, and welcome. I'm your host, Carrie, creator of Mother Life, your destination for all things real talk and parenting. This is the IRL group chat, where we talk about the wild balancing act of pursuing careers and passions while also doing our best to show up for our kids. Join me every week as I sit down with some badass parents in my closet and we talk about their careers, kids, and relationships and all of the weird shit that comes up when you're trying to balance the seemingly impossible. Consistency. Besides feeling loved, it's probably the thing kids crave the most. This time of year, I'm reminded of the value of consistency for kids, when the summer break turns even the most angelic children into unhinged, sun-kissed wild animals. As adults, we know how hard it is to maintain consistency in anything, routine, schedules, just generally showing up for ourselves and our goals, because life makes being consistent hard, and flexibility is always required. For me, I didn't really appreciate the importance of consistency until two major life events, becoming a parent and a major surgery that forced me to rethink how I take care of my body. Both the parenting thing and the wrecked body thing require a commitment to consistency that will now stay with me for the rest of my life. And that could feel daunting. From the outside, it could look boring. And yet, my commitment to being consistent, within reason of course, has been the single most significant contributor to almost entirely doing away with the dreaded FOMO. It's hard to feel like you're missing out on an abstract thing that other people are doing when you have such a clear set of goals shaping your path forward. I kept coming back to consistency when talking to today's guest because ultimately, that's what underlines who this person is. He's consistent. He shows up for himself, his clients, his businesses, his family, pretty much without fail. And that really is no small feat. Taking care of yourself is hard enough in this season of life. Helping other people to do that, professionally and personally, that's just heroic sort of behavior. For Charlie Curtis, it's just another day at the office. Charlie is a celebrity trainer and among many things is the founder of Bad Badger Treats, a company bringing high-protein, low-sugar treats for kids and parents to love to a kitchen near you. You may know him as Perfect 10 Charlie of Armchair Expert fame, or that tall guy that you're starting to suspect might live at the Little League field. If you know Charlie and you're here because you want to hear me try and get him to talk about his feelings, or you're new to him altogether, I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. Wait, how old are they again, the boys?
11 and 7, almost 8.
So do they smell like BO yet? Like, do you have a stinky house yet?
Getting that? No, it's like sporadic right now. But we're close for the older one.
Because I've heard like a lot of people are like, that's their big takeaway. Like everything, it's smelly.
It is. I'm probably more used to it than someone else because all the sports,
Yeah,
that's like
yeah.
normal smells to me. But it's like all their stuff is filthy.
Yeah.
And
Wait, are you a redhead, Charlie?
My beard
Your beard is giving a little ginger.
It gets red. Yeah.
I love that.
But yeah, especially I had a long, humongous beard at one point and it was red.
Because my son's a redhead, so now I'm very tuned in to like...
And Erica's a fake redhead.
Do you hear that, Erica? She's like a strawberry. You guys match Barbie and Ken, that's for sure. Barbie and Ken with abs.
It's reddish. It's reddish. I've known her as a white platinum blonde.
Yeah.
She had dark brown hair for a while. Now it's red. So
Well, I'm so excited about this. Tell me what you have for breakfast.
I don't eat breakfast.
Oh, here we fucking go. All right.
Actually, that's kind of a lie. I have like a protein coffee.
That's what I'm having right now.
Yeah.
Look, we're already bonding over protein, which is literally the first thing Erica and I bonded about too, because she was drinking some sludgy, disgusto, like 8,000 ingredients. Mine is just coffee and protein powder.
That's what I do. We have like a cold brew machine and I put this, I actually make a hot chocolate protein powder.
We're going to talk about it. Bad Badger.
And so I put that in there and that's my morning breakfast, I guess you would say.
Okay. That counts, but that's like 150 calories or something probably, right?
It's 60.
So not even.
Not even.
Okay, so when's the first time you eat in a day?
I will usually, today is a little different. We travel tomorrow, so today's packed. But I'll be home at 2:30 and I'll eat. And it's usually around 12 to 2 I would eat.
And are you like an intermittent fasting guy? Is that what we're doing, or is it just like I'm not putting labels on my relationship with this?
It's not intentional, but
Okay.
that is in practice what happens.
Yeah. Okay.
I get up. I mean, today I was up at 5:30. The boys are getting older. It's hard, especially in the summer, to go to bed early.
Yeah.
So the idea of getting up an extra 30 minutes early to make eggs or whatever,
Yeah.
I just want to sleep, so I don't do it.
Okay.
So I end up intermittent fasting, but not necessarily by design.
Okay.
And vacations and stuff, I don't stick with that. Or if we like weekends go out to breakfast, I don't stick to the intermittent fasting thing, but during the week, it's how it works out.
Well, this is one of the reasons why there's a lot of reasons why I was looking forward to talking to you, but one of them is that you're like a pretty pragmatic guy in terms of the advice that you give to other people. You're not like, you fall off the wagon, you're done for. Like, you seem like you've really got a pragmatic approach to how you think about fitness and wellness and health, which, especially for parents, like, we're all just doing the best we can, hanging on for dear life. And that's the kind of perspective we need, because we already all sort of feel like shit already.
Yeah. I mean, we have so much going on, and we're kind of spoiled in LA, I think, thinking that everyone is a fitness enthusiast, everyone's on a diet, everyone's healthy, everyone's doing all the right things. And the reality is just, I guess we might be doing that more than other people, but doing anything is, you're just doing better than most. If you're watching what you eat, not even eating specific things, but just conscious, like not going to McDonald's every day, cut that down. Going for walks, going to the gym, doing whatever in the gym. Like, that's such a big step. And like, for some people, that's all they can do. And that's great. That's better than nothing. And so I think, with everything else going on, if you have kids and a job and a business, all this stuff, it's a lot to ask someone to do everything perfectly for hours a day, all the prep, all the planning, all the gym time. It's just a lot.
But you also, like, you have some clients that you've worked with that are like more high profile, fancy people, I would say. Are you tougher on them? Because it's like part of their job.
So if it's very goal specific, there are like, I want to look like this, or I want to be able to run a marathon, whatever it may be. If it's something really specific, you kind of have to crank it up a little bit, and you have to be a little bit more rigid. But for the regular person that's just trying to get healthy and get in a little better shape, I find with most people I work with, a longer, consistent approach is better than like, hey, we got 30 days to cram it all in. That's hard.
Yeah, I'm in the other camp. So did you listen to Erica's episode?
I did.
Okay, because you're a first in the sense that we haven't yet had a spouse on the pod.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't think it's going to be that much he said, she said, because she thinks the sun shines directly out of your ass. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of like, Erica, you got that wrong. But it is interesting because I do feel like I cheated a little bit. Like, I do know a little bit about your story, like how you guys met, that, you're raised by a single mom, college football. Like, there's some things I know already.
Right.
Which feels like cheating, but it is cool to get your side of your own parenting story, your own career story, and kind of the story of how you grew up. So were you born in San Diego?
Born in San Diego. Yep. Raised in San Diego. And I loved it down there. I would never go back. I'm not someone that's going to go back home and move back to my hometown. But my mom is still down there. We go every once in a while. One of my best friends lives down there still. So we go, we visit, we check it out. But
So it's interesting that you say that. Like, I'm definitely like that as well. I grew up in Florida, mixed relationships, some like, shitty childhood stuff, but I can't imagine going back to where I grew up. Whereas I have loads of friends who like love where we grew up and went back or never left and like are super happy. And I do wonder, like, what is that thing that makes us say like, that was fine, but now I'm done and I'm not going back? Do you feel like if you were to ever there isn't a universe where you would move back?
I don't think there is. I mean, there are a couple little pockets of San Diego that I didn't necessarily grow up in, like a little further north. I guess it's still kind of San Diego.
Yeah.
And they're beach towns. They're cool. Like, I guess I could retire there.
It's the people. It's the people.
Yeah.
And like, there's no shade to San Diego people. There's a lot of great San Diego listeners, people in our orbit. But like, I think, and I feel like it is similar to Tampa where I grew up. I feel like once you've left and experienced different things, it's hard to go back to the same kinds of conversations.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because all of a sudden you want to talk about more.
Yeah. And LA is so unique. I mean, we've lived in West Hollywood. We lived in Hollywood. We lived in downtown in the Arts District, Highland Park, and now we're here in the Valley. So those are like all different cities.
Yeah.
And San Diego doesn't have that feel. Like there's a little bit more beachy, there's a little bit more inland, but everything is kind of San Diego.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Huge. And so it doesn't feel, LA feels huge, but also like you can find an intimate little pocket.
You're not going to Koreatown or like Little Japan or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like that feel of like everywhere we've been, we found like a little community, our little like local spots, and it feels smaller than LA really is.
Yeah, but let's not lie. You spend all of your time at the Little League field. What it sounds like.
All of it. I'm either at the gym or I am at the Little League field.
Yeah. So it's nice to have the pockets theoretically
Yes.
that you're never going to because
Yes.
you're at the Little League.
Yes.
So, okay, so you're growing up. I know that you were raised by a single mom, but was it always that way?
It was, I think my parents were divorced when I was 2. I don't remember, but
Me too. My parents got divorced when I was 2
young.
as well.
I think around 1 or 2, but I don't remember that. And then my dad was in San Diego for a few years and then moved out of the state. And he was around a little bit, just kind of less and less and less and less.
Yeah.
And as I got older, I kind of realized that it was mostly my mom's doing. Like
That he was around less?
no, that he was around at all.
Oh,
like she was
interesting.
like, hey, you got to take him for this. You got to, like, this is your month in the summer, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And so as I got older, she kind of put it on me, like, I can't manage that forever. So
Yeah.
you guys figure it out. If you don't ever go, you don't ever go. If you do, great.
Yeah.
I'll help facilitate. But she wasn't going to plan as much. So it kind of just fell apart.
Like what age was that?
I want to say like must have been 12, 10 to
So
12.
did you have boy rage at that point? Like were your like hormones raging? You were like, fuck you, dad? Or were you just like...
No, that came later.
Yeah.
That
yeah,
came
yeah,
later. It was more like once you're busy, you know, as a kid. Even my son now, he's 11. Like today, all he wants to do is have friends over. And
Right.
last night wanted to have a sleepover, and he's got a phone, so he's texting, "Hey, text someone's mom. They want him to come over." And he has social stuff, so like
Yeah.
he still likes us. But there's gonna come a point where it's like, I don't want to go on another weekend with my family. I want to be with my friends, you know. And it's sad. And so
Yeah.
that was kind of how it was. Like I got busy and it was like, man, I either have to deal with all this and plan or I just hang with my friends.
Right. You weren't
Beach.
having like a big existential reckoning about this like relationship.
No,
Yeah.
not till probably, I think post-college. Yeah, right? Summer after post-college.
When you become like a real person. Because, I mean, kids and young people by design are selfish, right? Like that is, and they should be. Like what they have grown-ups doing stuff for them. Things are maybe paid for. Like their worlds are broadly insulated. And then you leave college and you're like, I got to be a person now.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
that sort of stuff comes.
Yeah.
At least that's what it was for me.
That was the big kind of
Reckoning.
yeah.
And so growing up with your mom, I got a little bit from Erica that she's just like a force of nature. She just gets the job done and does everything.
Yep.
Was that your, like, what was growing up like? Were you doing loads of sports? Was she at everything?
I did. I mostly I played baseball until 12-ish, and then I kind of exclusively played football. And I played football from 2nd grade through high school through college. So that was my big thing, and then training around that. But that was pretty much my only sport. She was at a lot of things, but she also worked full time. You know, it was a lot of.
What was she doing?
She did accounting at a law firm, and for part of growing up, she was downtown San Diego, which is still kind of far from where we lived. And then for a while, she was in Newport Beach.
Yeah.
So there was a lot. She was all over the place.
Yeah.
So yeah, she was at games and things of importance, but a lot of it was like, I remember walking to practices. It was a different time. Like the thought of my kids walking to practice now seems insane.
Yeah.
But I walked what felt like miles.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it was
yeah.
no big deal. It was like maybe I had a buddy with me or maybe not. And so there was a lot of kind of figuring it out, or us figuring out some sort of system and getting picked up at 6:30 from somewhere and all that. But it seemed normal and regular at the time.
Do you have siblings?
No.
So it was really like the two
people.
compadres.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like a hardcore team.
Yeah.
And did she date at all when you were growing up?
Very, very rarely. She had one kind of longer term boyfriend for maybe a year, maybe two. But other than that, not a ton.
So there wasn't like, Charlie wasn't on the front porch with a baseball bat, like being like, you bring her back at a reasonable hour. There was none of that.
No, and that must have been when I was like, 12.
Yeah.
So young, yeah.
So you had already quit baseball around then, so you didn't have the baseball bat anymore.
got rid of all those. Yeah.
So it's the two of you guys. She's busy. I mean, can you imagine now that you're a parent, just the amount of gymnastics that she was doing?
It was a lot. Yeah, I can't. And I mean, I don't work from home, but I work very close to home, very flexible. Erica works from home, and still, it's like we're running around. We both structured our days so we can be free, and we're still not.
Yeah.
You know, and so, it was, I can't imagine.
I often think like, I don't, and I know that, did you have babysitters? Like, did she have any backup, or was it really just you guys?
Not really. I had my aunts in San Diego, and my grandma, at least for most of the time, lived in San Diego. So I would see them, family, every once in a while. But during the week, it was pretty much just to and from school and to and from sports. And I made a lot of dinners and did a lot of chores and did all that stuff. But it seemed...
Latchkey life.
Yeah.
Now, I love to talk about food and dinner. So it sounds like she was often working late. Like, were you making your own dinners and stuff when you were older?
I would usually, I'm probably not even that old, but we'd usually have a plan, and I would start something so that when she got home, it was like the final prep and we would eat.
Yeah.
I did make plenty of like snacks and foods and things for myself, but dinners, we usually had some sort of plan. Like, this was the dinner for tonight. Go ahead and start doing X, Y, and Z, and then when I get home, we'll finish. So we did a lot of like tag teaming for that.
Any childhood favorite food, or that something that you have now that feels super nostalgic?
I mean, Mexican food in general, like that was like, if we ever went out to eat, it was Mexican food. We made Mexican food a little bit. I guess the one thing is my mom made these like pasta shells.
Yeah.
Tiny little shells with like tomato. I mean, they're pretty. Erica thinks it's crazy that everyone likes them, but
it's comfort food, man.
It's just like spaghetti sauce and shells and cheese, and that's it. And so she made those all the time. So that's probably the one dish that like I would associate with my childhood.
I mean, it's so funny, the things that we grow up with. Like, I'm Jewish, so there are certain things that I eat that my husband, who is not, thinks are fucking vile, like gefilte fish, and fair, objectively disgusting.
Yeah.
Can't help it. But there's also things like, when I was pregnant with my first, I really wanted Stouffer's stuffing, like from the box. And there was something about that just tasted so like my childhood. It was probably all the chemicals and MSG and whatever, but man, does it hit the spot. Like,
it's good. Erica and I went to a restaurant. Our kids were gone, so we went out to eat. And let me get a pork chop that had stuffing. And we were like, why don't we eat this all the time? Like, why? This is a once a year thing, and it was so good. Like, why is this not a regular thing?
Stuffing needs its moment in the sun. My husband does not get it. Rude. And man, it really hits the spot. I mean, it's fucking bread.
It's the shitty stuffing that's good. I don't want the fancy.
Thank you. Yes.
Some artisanal bread in there. I want just like from a box, add some water, throw it in the oven.
They have finally cracked like healthy-ish box mac and cheese.
Yep.
Zoodle. Was it Zoodles?
Yep.
No, I'm getting the name wrong.
No, but it is
I'll think
something
of it.
like that.
Something oodles.
Yep.
But they're good.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are growing up, or you're kind of growing up together, because she's having a huge chunk of her life where there's just the two of you. And what's life like for you outside of sports? Are you socializing loads? Are you a good kid, a rule follower?
I was a good kid. I did good in school. Never any issues there. I was good in school. That was always kind of my get out of jail free card, was like, but I'm doing good in school.
Yeah.
So, and I was a good kid. I was a rule follower. I didn't do anything. And I would say my mom was pretty strict. Like, I didn't have a very long leash.
Yeah.
So as I got older, that turned into being as sneaky as I could to get around her rules. But I always could fall back on, like, I got more or less straight A's, and I got, like school part was easy. I never was in trouble at school. Sports, same. I was always not getting in trouble there. I was fine there. So yeah, I would say I'm a rule follower for the most part, but circumstantially I had to get around some rules.
We all did. We all did. Yeah. Now, you mentioned aunts. Does that mean, did you grow up with cousins around?
Yeah. I grew up with cousins, one cousin my age and a younger brother in Temecula.
Yeah.
And we saw them for a chunk of time. Felt like every other weekend we went out there. We rode dirt bikes around and hung with them, my aunt, uncle, my two cousins. I have another cousin who's, she must be like 5 years younger, who I'm pretty close with, that I kind of grew up seeing pretty often. So yeah, I grew up around cousins.
Now, what do you think of the only child stereotypes? There are some. I don't know loads. I mean, mainly the one that I know is like hard to change course. Like you want it your way because you're used to it being your way in your system.
Yep.
Would you subscribe to that stereotype about yourself?
Yes, absolutely. My opinion is always that I've developed a system by myself because that's the best system for whatever the situation is.
Sure.
And I haven't had to collaborate with anyone on this system. I've created it and it works because it's the best version of it. And so it takes a lot for me to be open to some kind of change.
Right.
I've definitely gotten better.
Well, you're still married, so I'm assuming
yes.
you've figured that out.
Yeah. And my kids don't hate me yet. So we're figuring out some compromise somewhere. But yeah, just from anything. I mean, anytime we have to look for a kid's baseball hat, it drives me up the wall. Like, you guys put it in the place that's labeled baseball hat, like things like that drive me insane. I think probably more so than it does Erica, because she's kind of used to a little chaos around.
Yeah, have to be.
And I grew up with like, my room was messy if I let it be messy, but if I cleaned it, it was going to stay clean.
Right.
If I got a dish out and washed the dishes, there'd be no dishes in the dishwasher. Whereas now it's like you clean the house and you won't leave to go to the grocery store and come back and it's like a bomb exploded.
Sure.
So that's all, I guess it's not foreign anymore, but that was foreign to me. Like,
yeah.
Wait, there's other people that are contributing here to this mess or this
well chaos. And also like your brain is now hardwired because you've had however many years being this only child in your life, and now you have to collaborate. So whether or not it's new or old, I bet it's still like my husband, I am the agent of chaos, and my husband has OCD, and so I now have like a label gun where I'll be like, the wood spoons go in this spot so that I can try and respect his. It's not perfect, but I'm trying.
That's a lot. But it goes the other way too. If you're not used to that, that's completely foreign too. If you're like, yeah, there's a drawer, I'll put this in the drawer. If that's how you have lived most of your life, it's hard to go into a different place.
Yeah.
Of like, wait, I have to take extra time, find out where it goes, put it in that
Thank you for
so,
seeing me, Charlie.
I get it. I get it.
You're like, I've had this conversation. So I'm trying to think if there are any other stereotypes of only kids. Did you ever want to have a sibling when you were growing up?
I don't know. Did I want one? I think now that I have two kids, I see the upside. I don't remember ever feeling like I wanted one at the time.
Yeah. Because you had a system and it worked.
Yeah. And you don't know any different,
Yeah.
It's like asking Erica if she would have preferred to be an only child. It's like, well, I don't know. I guess she was for a couple of years, but yeah, it's hard to know. I do.
That's why I asked about cousins.
Yeah, I kind of liked being able to leave, though.
Yeah,
like nothing was permanent. If it was a great weekend, great. I'm excited to come back. If it's like, that sucked. It's like, all right, well, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I do wish I had someone else to share, especially as I get older. Like share the attention from my mom. Or share the responsibility, and it'll eventually probably get to be more responsibility, but right now it's attention.
Yeah.
So I and again, that kind of came as an adult, like, oh, that would have been nice. I see Erica and her 3 siblings, and they navigate their family dynamics together sometimes, but there's more people involved. So I think that's beneficial, but I think I'm very much an only child.
Yeah.
Very few people are surprised.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you also seem a little bit like a gentle soul. So, like, in the sense of They say that people who are, especially men who are surrounded by women growing up, have a softness to them, an ability to empathize, just as a consequence of how they grew up. Do you feel like growing up, like, did you have a lot of friends that were girls? Did you feel like you understood girls maybe differently than some of your guy friends who didn't, have the same experience?
Yeah, I guess I do. And I don't know, I feel like I always had a little heightened responsibility and like, respectfulness. Like people's parents, my friends' parents love me. I always loved being, and I liked it. I like thrived off of being someone that my friends' parents wanted around, or like, I liked that. So
yeah, you were totally dropping a Mr. and a Miss at these people.
Yes. And so I liked that, and I think it was just from having to do so much at home and feel like that was my validation, or like my contributing part as a kid was like, oh, I got to do these responsibilities. I got to make sure that my mom I'm not making more work for her.
Yeah.
And so, I think that translated into at least being more understanding and seeing people a little bit more, not being so selfish, which is another stereotype of only children.
Is a little bit of a balance because of the single parent aspect. Yeah. And then on the other side, you've got this like super macho football existence, which is like locker room chicanery and craziness.
Yeah, and tattoos everywhere.
Yeah,
I go to the gym all the time. Yeah, You've
got the balance.
Yeah.
Now, Erica enters the picture in high school.
Yes, we technically went to, what would that have been, 8th grade together? Well, I guess we went to 7th grade together, but we had a class or something in 8th grade, but not really friends until probably junior year of high school-ish, something like that.
That was before or after she got boobs, around there, according to her.
Probably after.
And she tells the very cute story of, overhearing some girls talking about Charlie. And she's just like, my Charlie, our Charlie, my friend Charlie. And then she has this moment like, wait, I like Charlie. Mm-hmm. For you, when did the crush sort of form?
It definitely started for me first, I think. Like I was pursuing her probably more so than she was me in the beginning. But I was 16 or 17, and so there's weeks where it was like, someone else is more interesting.
Sure.
But she was always there for a while, and I feel like there was kind of I guess I would say mutual crush for a while.
Yeah.
And just like playful, like we were really close friends. We hung out all the time, and so I think it was for a few months. Even though she might have gone on dates with other people and I might have as well, it was like when we were together, there was like a mutual crush and flirtiness.
Have you ever wondered, wow, I would love for this podcaster to sell me something already? Well, you're in luck. Today I'm selling you on something highly exclusive, highly niche, highly mother. Just kidding. But if you've got a company or a cause you'd like to promote on the pod, get in touch. We're a good time.
But I think it probably started for me first.
And then you go off to college, play college football. Mm-hmm. Texas?
I started in Texas, in Houston. I went to Rice my freshman year, and then I transferred to Georgetown. Houston wasn't my cup of tea.
Right. I mean, like Texas football, like it's a whole thing that's real far from San Diego. Yeah,
it was cool. There were parts that I liked. I mean, the guys were great people, nice. I guess what you'd say, they were like very respectful, a lot of Southern hospitality.
Yeah.
And they came from small towns like Friday Night Lights type town, all the stereotypes of Texas football. But Houston was like a big city and a small city. It was sprawling. I don't know. It was just so foreign. It was so foreign.
It was not your vibe.
It was not my vibe. And the school was very small. My high school was 3,700 kids.
Oh my God, that's so many people.
And I think Rice was 2,300 or something, so it was small.
Seriously? I had no idea it was that small.
It's small. So it felt a little isolating. And then, like, it's a really good academic school.
Yeah.
And I actually was able to get in there pre-football, which I took pride in. But being associated with sports there is a different connotation than, say, you're at Alabama or something. It's more like, these
You're
idiots
dumb,
are taking over our class time. So it was just...
That's so interesting.
Yeah, it was a different feel and kind of shocking to me. Like, I can't be here.
And then what was the transition to Georgetown like?
I loved it. It was in the city. Being from San Diego, I mean, DC might as well have been New York or Boston or something. It's like a big West Coast city.
East Coast.
Or East Coast city. Yeah. And so it just felt big. I mean, I the amount of times I walked through the National Mall and saw the monuments was like, it was still cool. It was like a tourist destination that I lived in.
Like, I can't believe I'm here.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I went in high school on like a school trip, but I had never been to like see the school, nothing. I just reached out to the football coaches and I had heard from them in high school and didn't pursue it. And so I just reached back out and they're like, well, can you send us any whatever? And then kind of work through the process of getting in there. And that was it.
Incredible.
And the first time I showed up to campus was the first time I had been to campus.
Wow. And I mean, Georgetown is one of those schools that does have like certainly a national recognition. People absolutely know what it was, know what it is. When you were in that environment now as a sports kid, did it feel similar or different to the Rice experience? Because it's also still not Alabama.
A little different, and it was bigger. There were more people around.
Yeah.
Also, like Rice was just the campus. And then around it is like kind of big plantation-looking homes, and it's quiet neighborhood, like a nice neighborhood. And Georgetown is in the city.
Yeah.
So even though, and there's a lot of colleges around, so most of my friends were from the East Coast. And so they had friends that went to maybe George Washington or Catholic University. So there were just more people around. So you could find people. Sure, there was still like a very strong academic feeling at Georgetown, but there were just more people around.
Yeah.
And then there were sports programs. You know, when I was there, the basketball team went to the Final Four. That's humongous. Everyone loves that. So there's a little different connotation for the athletes, I think.
I also think at a school like that, people just like people being good at stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's like we're all here because we worked really hard and we're committed to excellence. And so there's a little bit of just like mutual respect for like, oh, you're good at your thing. And so that's cool. And I'm good at this thing.
Right.
Like that's what, especially like, people say that a lot about, you know, the Harvards, the Yales as well, is like everyone's just amped for each other if you're good at something. Yeah. Basically.
And Georgetown was a smaller football program too. So there wasn't as much leeway or perceived leeway as far as admissions. Yeah. So like Rice was a big school. We played Texas, we played UCLA, we played all these giant schools. And to keep up with that, they have different tiers of like, you need to meet these requirements. 10 people can get in at these requirements. Notch up, you get 10 at this level, 10, 10, 10. So there was definitely some different standards at each, but it wasn't looked down upon as much at Georgetown. Because I think there was a higher level. I don't know. Yeah.
And all the while, you and Erica are like texting, calling.
Yeah. Let's see. My freshman year, she came to visit me once. And I think maybe over Christmas or Thanksgiving, I went to her parents' place in Boston because she moved to Boston after high school. Yeah. Her family did. So we probably saw each other twice that year. And then, moving to DC, the theory was she was in New York. So it's a, train ride or a bus ride away. But yeah, we were just kind of texting and calling and sitting on the phone, but it was kind of blurry boundaries, I would say. Yeah. Like it was just kind of like, well, we'll just kind of see what happens.
What the young people would call a situationship.
Yes. I think.
And so then you guys, I forget, did you, after college, you guys both moved to LA? Or was there a step in between?
We stayed with her parents for maybe 6 months outside of Boston, and then we moved to LA. Yeah.
And for you coming here, what was that experience like? Just talking about from the San Diego to the middle of nowhere at Rice to the Georgetown, now you're here.
I also I think I maybe been to LA once or twice. Yeah. My best friend, who now, oddly enough, lives in San Diego, he lived here at the time. He went to George Washington. So I was with him in DC. So he lived here. So I knew someone. Erica wanted to be here because she was singing. It seemed to make sense. I didn't want to go back to San Diego, but I also wanted to come back to the West Coast.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of like, well, let's try it and see. And then we both loved it. We didn't live together for the first 2 years or so.
Yeah. I mean, you're little babies at this point. You're like, what, 22 or something?
Yeah. So we both did, like, we had shitty jobs and we did, just what you do when you're fresh out of college.
Yeah.
When you're 22.
And I think I heard somewhere that you were like taking the LSAT, or you were considering law school. Is that right?
Yeah. I did 2 internships in college at law firms, and that was my plan. I was a political science and Spanish major, and that was their, quote, pre-law.
Right.
So that was my plan. And some of the attorneys I had talked to, they're like, well, the market wasn't great. They're like, take some time to figure out what you want to do. Take a year off, do whatever. So I did that. And I took my LSAT. I started applying for local law schools because at that point I had been here for a year, maybe a year and a half, and I liked it here.
Yeah.
Erica was here. And so I started applying to local law schools and then went a whole nother route.
Yeah. So you find yourself in a CrossFit gym? Is that what happens?
Mm-hmm. I actually is from Erica because she worked at Lululemon and they do all these local studio passes. And they have partnerships and relationships with local gyms. So one of them was a CrossFit gym, CrossFit Hollywood. And she's like, I don't think I really like this, but I think you would. Like, I think you would love it at this place. So I went and I didn't necessarily love it, but I'm competitive and I wasn't very good at it. And so that kept me going back and back and back. And then like the community I loved it. I fell in love with it so much that I opened my own.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you ever see entrepreneurship for yourself?
No.
What was your like relationship with money like? And the reason why I ask is there are some people who are like, I'll go into debt or I'll figure it out and it'll work out. Or there's me who's absolutely terrified about where money's coming from. Even though I don't really have business being that terrified, I'm always scared about scarcity.
I definitely have a scarcity mentality.
Yeah.
But I am financially responsible. I grew up having to be that way. Didn't have a ton of excess money growing up. Like it was always something I was aware of from a pretty young age. Like how much does something cost? Can't get this now because we just got it a month ago. Like there was definitely budgeting happening. So I'm pretty aware and responsible in terms of finances. So
you weren't scared opening this thing. You were just like, I have to have a plan.
I had to have a plan. Yeah. So I was scared to open it, but I did have a plan that I thought, okay, this is going to work. It's all down here. I'm not missing anything. I tried to cover every single base, reach out to people that, my buddy that owned that other gym, asked him for unexpected expenses that come up or how much does this cost or how much do you pay this person? And so I felt pretty solid about the plan and I took a good amount of time to put it together and then just went for it.
And it went gangbusters. You did it for a long time.
Did it for 10 years. Yeah.
And then COVID hits, right?
Then COVID hits.
And, say no more. Nobody's sweating indoors in close proximity to other people.
Yep.
What are you thinking about for your pivot, for your livelihood? What are you going to do at that point?
It was kind of twofold because probably for the 2 years before COVID, I had been contemplating selling it, getting rid of it, doing something else. I didn't know what, but it's been the same thing for a long time. And I was kind of ready. So when COVID hit and we had to close down, it was a very welcomed break. I was there at 6 a.m. and then I'd come home throughout the day, but I'd be there till 9 p.m. and like almost every day. And I was the last line. Like if someone was sick, that was me. If something needed to be done, it was me. If we were out of town, inevitably someone would call with something. So it just became a lot. And we had 2 kids. And so I was looking for an out. So the break was great.
Yeah.
And then as the break kind of was extended and extended and extended, I just I told my landlord, like, I can't do it anymore. I need to get out. He was totally great. And was like, yep, I get it. When do you want to be out?
Amazing.
Don't worry about it. And so that was great. And so I had a couple months there of just not really, of not being open and knowing I'm going to leave, but no rush. And so from there, I wasn't really even thinking about my future, but for my own sanity and the community of people I had, I started doing online workouts every day. So I would go down to the gym by myself, or sometimes Erica would come, and I would hop on a Zoom and I'd put the link out to people, and that started with like 10 people, and then 15, and then 20, and then we got to a place where there were like 200 people on there.
Wow.
And I did that every day for a long time, a year and a half, maybe 2 years. Yeah.
Now, when you're leading these classes virtually and you're like walking people through everything, is that count as your workout for the day, or are you doing more workout on top of that workout?
I would sometimes do a little extra, but that was my workout. And that was kind of part of doing it. Like, it's so easy to not have to go in to the gym.
Yeah.
So if I have this responsibility to other people, then I'll go and I worked out. And so I structured them in such a way that they were pretty basic, pretty simple. There was some equipment required, or optional if you wanted to use dumbbells or whatever. But the intention was to be able to explain everything in a couple minutes, and then I would do it. So I was definitely talking and leading it. But someone like Peloton or something, they're writing.
Yeah.
I'd say I worked a little harder than they do. Like, I didn't take as many breaks, but similar.
Yeah.
Like, I would kind of talk people through as I was doing it, and that was my workout most days.
Wow. Now, at what point in this storyline do you become, quote, perfect 10 Charlie to the world? Because Dax Shepard kind of gives you a platform at some point, right?
Well,
also no pressure, perfect 10.
Yeah, right. There's, I guess with his podcast, which now is 8 years old or something, but he must have mentioned it on there somewhere, and it kind of happened. But the biggest thing was in COVID, I did a podcast series with him, and his friend Aaron, and that was kind of the big jumping off point, and there was like the three of us. Monica was there too, so 4 of us. And we had a 12 episode podcast.
And what did that do for your business? I mean, or did it have an impact on your business, or was it just like a fun thing to do with your friends? It
was a super fun thing to do with friends. It probably did a little bit, not a ton. I guess it did help. It gave me more of an online presence. It gave me the ability to have online groups and virtual communities and have a bigger reach and reach more people, and then get the word out, and then in turn kind of have bigger groups. So it did help for that. As far as my in-person stuff, like, I've just been doing it for so long in one way or another that, I work for myself. I have my own gym space, so I don't need 300
volume. Yeah, exactly.
It's not a ton of people. So I've been pretty fortunate enough to have like a steady enough stream. And then, I can reach out and post something online if I have space available for more people, or I want to do a longer group, or like a 6-week program or something like that. So I guess it did help for just exposure.
Well, the reason why I ask is because I feel like, and I've been talking a lot about this with people lately, this idea of luck is really just experience meeting opportunity, and like preparedness meeting opportunity, and you're ready to meet a moment. If, you go on something like that and you don't already have the backbench of everything that you're doing, then it's like, well, you can't actually grow from here because you're not ready.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so in the midst of building these businesses, pivoting, deciding what you're going to do, you've also become a dad.
Yes.
What is that like, given it was mainly you and your mom growing up? Like, did you have an idea in your head of what kind of dad you wanted to be, or what that was going to look like for you? I
did. A lot of my friends and a lot of the families that you kind of grow up with as you're in high school, spending so much time at friends' houses and sleeping over. Most of them, probably all of them, had married parents.
Yeah.
So I was exposed. I wouldn't say the neighborhood I grew up in was predominantly single parent households. It was mostly couples. So I had exposure to it. But you're never ready, I don't think. I don't know. We were 20. I was about to turn 28.
Babies by like coastal standards.
Totally. We felt like that.
Yeah.
We were just married, and it was scary, yeah, but great.
Yeah.
Like we were both excited, but also very like, we'll see, let's wing it.
Do you find I am, my kids are younger than yours, but my husband and I will be in like a situation for the first time with the kids, and we look at each other and we're like, okay, like how are we going to do this one?
Yeah.
And we don't always land on the same thing because we grew up really different. Do you guys have sort of an ongoing conversation about stuff like that when things come up? Because, Charlie wants to do it the Charlie way.
Yes. We definitely are very open to conversation and talking things out for sure. Like there's, we don't have an issue with that. But we've just known each other so long and been around that, like, I kind of know what her answer is going to be to things, and she kind of knows what mine is. And, like, I also know if she'll think it's a big deal if I'm like, well, I know what she would do, but I'm going to do it this way, and she won't care.
Right.
Versus, like, I know what you do, I'm going to do it this way, and I know she's going to be pissed. So we just know each other so well. It's hard to say. But we definitely are very open, and we communicate well with the kids. And, yeah, it's totally different. Like, she grew up in a household similar to ours now.
Yes. Yeah.
And I didn't. It's totally different. So she definitely has more experience, more patience. She understands, like, yeah, they're not going to clean up all their shit because you never do.
Right.
So we come from different backgrounds, but we've just been around each other so long.
Yeah.
We've kind of
It's actually such a gift.
Yeah.
And I imagine, like, when you do fight or you do argue, there has to be some safety in that because you have been around and together for so long that nobody's feeling like the other person's going to leave, or like there isn't that like anxiety, that irrational fear, because it's just like we've been here a million times before, right?
Yep. And I've certainly rubbed off on her over the years, and she's rubbed off on me. So we've gotten more towards the center, I'm sure, as we've gone. It's just been a slow process. And so we kind of see eye to eye on things. And I don't know if it's that we actually do or we've just kind of quietly agreed on certain things that like, yeah, okay, we'll do this that way. And that's now my new norm because she wants it that way and vice versa. So I don't know. We're on the same page about most things.
And then, how boring.
I know. Other than the adult family relationships are hard for me.
Yeah. Tell me more about that.
She has twin brothers that are 32.
Yeah.
One is married. She has a sister that is 26, and she has both her parents. Yeah. And so, like, there's a lot to navigate there. I have two nephews. There's other in-laws. It's something that I don't deal with ever. Yeah. I never have. I have to deal with my mom. That's it.
You know what's so funny, Charlie, is my husband he has a brother, but it's like he could have said the same thing, in the sense that from my like loud Jewish upbringing where everybody's in everybody's shit and like everybody has an opinion and da-da-da-da-da, he comes from a very like waspy upbringing, and he doesn't, like, my sister will come to visit and I need to be like in her space at all times, and he just couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
It's so foreign to him.
Yeah.
And I definitely like if my family is visiting, he regularly will go take like a sound break.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
So, I think I understand this dynamic.
Yeah, it's tricky. But there's, I learned from it too. She's very empathetic. She's understanding. She compromises with them. And I guess I'm more of the opinion that, like, my family, so to speak, is the friends that I've made here.
Yeah.
I've been here so long. I've raised my kids with them. We went through COVID with them. And so I don't have the same obligation to family, I think, that she has. And she's the oldest sister.
That's also an only child thing. That's the other only child stereotype I was forgetting. Deep, deep, significant friendships. Yeah. That's the other, I feel like, stereotype that is actually wonderful. Like, if you have an only child friend in your life, they're going to fucking ride for you. Yeah. And there's like a deep loyalty thing there.
I'm definitely very loyal. And I just feel like it has to be earned more than probably she does. And it happens with friendships too. Like, I'm like, it sounds bad to say, what have you done for me lately? But like, what have we done for each other lately?
Yeah,
like, where are we at? If we're not if it's nothing, like, why do we both feel this obligation?
Yeah.
And so that extends to family for me, just because
why do they get a free pass?
Yeah, why do they get a free pass? And we always had to, there's one person we had to compromise with. It wasn't a big compromise. It was like an argument almost, like, which is the best way to do this? We'll figure out one and done.
Yeah.
When there's 6 people in a house, you have to compromise. No one's going to win.
Yeah.
So she definitely brings that to our relationship and our relationship with other people. And it's just a different perspective.
Now, your calendar in your house is fucking crazy. Like, I've seen the screenshots of it. Mm-hmm. And it's like color coded, and you have the things that you're responsible for, and she has the things that she's responsible for. How does that, like, when first of all, do you talk to your guy friends about any of this stuff, about like the job of dadding?
Not a ton.
I don't think guys talk to each other about it. Whereas we're constantly talking to each other, the moms.
Unless there's an issue. I have a buddy who has an older daughter. She's about to be 16. So he'll be like, oh my God, Crosby just did whatever. Or like,
that's my husband's name.
Is it?
And I think they're named, I'll tell you the story later.
But anyway, she, like, he'll be like, oh my God, can you believe she and her friends did this? Or like, they went to a party. Do you remember what, like, we kind of reminisce through the kids at different things, but that's kind of it. It's never like, or it's rarely like, oh, what would you do about this?
Yeah.
Or advice seeking. It's more like just sharing funny things or things that reminded us of our childhood or whatever.
Do you think that works, or and this is not a leading question, I genuinely don't care what the answer is. Do you think that guys would benefit from doing the advice thing more, or sharing on like a deeper level more? Or do you think that staying within the family unit to solve and problem solve is the way?
No, I think it's always better to ask for help or advice or suggestions or opinions, whatever it may be. I think it's always better. It's harder.
Yeah.
Like, my level of comfort around Erica is
right,
infinitely more than even my closest friends.
Yeah.
Because she knows everything already. And
yeah.
So, and with her, it doesn't feel like I'm admitting some sort of shortcoming. But when
you're not being judged.
Yeah, and if I go to someone else and ask, it's like, oh, well, you're asking because you don't know the answer, right?
Right.
And so, like, that has its own makes you a little bit more hesitant.
I think that's well said. And I think that's actually a super common thing, because also guys will be more open with women about like stuff, and because they feel less judged. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes, like, my husband will say something to me like, we're the only people that are X, or we are dealing with this thing. How come we are struggling with this, whatever it is? And it's like, no, bro, like, everybody is. The difference is that I fucking know, because we're all talking about it over coffee at the playground, and I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Nothing.
Yeah, which I just think makes men more tortured, because like, you think that the male species is just walking around thinking that challenges are just your own, when it's like, actually, you're all quietly just dealing with the same shit.
Same thing. Yep. I would agree with that. Now,
you are raising 2 boys, sports crazy, all of you, at the Little League field all of the time. What has surprised you or not? For me, I have never raised a boy before. This is my first time. There's so many things about him that I don't get. Mm-hmm. Like his need to jump off shit, or shooters, or like, there's just stuff I don't understand. His need to be physical in a way that I don't get. Do you feel like you just get your kids on a different level because you were once a little boy?
Yeah, I do. Right now for Ace, he's getting to be a teen, and that part I don't remember as well. Like that, like the emotional stuff that, like, I remember high school very well and the social aspects of that. And I remember as a kid, I mean, I was always running around outside throwing a football to myself, or playing some stupid game with whatever. I was always doing that, jumping off things and making paper airplanes and all of that. So for Wilder, my youngest one, I really get him on that. But yeah, most of their stuff is stuff I like to do also.
Yeah.
Like, now they play video games. I'll play video games. They want to go shoot a basketball in the front yard. I'll go do that. They want to run around and shoot Nerf guns. Great. So I do relate to them in terms of interests.
What about pottery? Are they into pottery yet?
They're not into it, no. Although they've made a couple things at school, and I think because they know I did it for so long, they find more joy in it. Or they want to show me more.
Yeah.
But
because that's the other thing that your family's famous for is hobbies, like doing stuff outside of your family to just feel fulfilled.
Yeah.
Now, is that something that you would have come to on your own? I mean, I call your wife the hobby maven because she is such a hobby freak, but
it's hard for me.
Yeah.
And even pottery, like I had stopped doing it because I'm like, where am I going? It's hard for me to have something purely as a hobby. It's kind of like, what's the goal here? What am I going to do? I have all this crap now sitting on a shelf. What I'm just going to keep making more. Am I going to give it away to someone? Am I going to gift it? Am I going to sell it? Like,
is there a ceramics Olympics?
Yes, if there's anything.
Right.
And so like with no goal, it just gets hard for me to have like just a strict hobby.
Yeah.
Like there's definitely people that go and do it and just throw their stuff away or just don't finish it. But it's like the act of taking your mind. It's like yoga.
Yeah.
You don't leave with anything when you do yoga, but
it's meditative.
It's meditative. That's hard for me. It's hard for me. Even boxing. I took up boxing maybe 2 years ago and instantly signed up for like an amateur boxing fight.
Sure, of course you did.
Because I'm like, what? Well, of course, if I'm going to do this, I need to know when I need to be in the best shape, how much I need to train for this, and on and on and on. So it's hard for me to have a pure hobby, but I try.
You like a project.
I like the project.
Rather than a hobby.
Yeah.
Because you can projectize it, you can plan it, I'm getting a sense.
Like pottery, I was most productive when I decided for these 4 people, I'm going to give them a set of bowls for Christmas. And I was there. It was great. I would go any free time I had. I just cranked everything out because I needed to get 30 pieces done or whatever. Outside of that, it's tricky.
Now, I'm going to ask you one more question, and then I have a couple of questions from people.
Oh, fun.
Not nothing crazy, but in terms of raising these boys, you were kind of given a gift in some way because you do have this understanding of women, you have this understanding of responsibility, of how to contribute to a household that has come naturally to you as a consequence of how you grew up. Have you thought at all about how you might instill some of that stuff into the boys, given they are growing up in a really different environment?
Yeah, Erica is such a good mom because she was an older sister. I mean, she just is, but she also has the experience of kind of raising her siblings. I mean, when we were in high school, her sister was a baby. Yeah. Like a little baby. So she kind of has that, and she is just so much more patient because of that. She's so much more caring and understanding. So they do get a lot of that, even if it's not from me. They get a lot of that from her, and I feel like my responsibility is to give them responsibility. Yeah, like to not take care of everything. Like Erica's mom was a stay-at-home mom. Did a lot of things for them. Always, if she had friends over, was prepping things and making things and entertaining and a part of the group. So that's different. And Erica does so much of that now. But I feel like I'm constantly the one that's trying to bring more ownership and responsibility. Not that she didn't have any, but I had a different version of it. So that's, I think, what I try to instill in them because I do know they get so much of the other stuff from her.
Do you talk about feelings with them?
Oh, probably not as much as I should.
Like, okay, kid falls over, gnarly boo-boo. When they're younger, I mean, I know they're a little bit older now. What is Charlie's reaction?
Let me see. Okay, you're fine. You're fine, right? It's not that bad. You see it? It's not that bad? Okay.
Now, what if something like emotionally devastating happens? Like a friend is really not kind to them at school or somebody's talking shit. What's the Charlie advice?
To confront it. I mean, like, it hasn't happened often. Yeah. But, like, I always am saying, like, I don't want them to be bullied ever. I don't want them to be picked on. And then, it's not always some physical thing. But if one of them has been pushed down, I get a call, like, oh, Ace is in the nurse because someone pushed him on the thing. Yeah. My reaction is you need to do it back. And if you're going to get in trouble, and I will go there and say, yeah, I'm glad he did this. I understand the policy. So I want them to stand up for themselves. And I guess that extends to emotional things too. Like if someone's being mean verbally, like call it out. Yeah. Stand up for yourself. So that's, and Ace is fairly shy. Wilder, I don't have to worry about it so much, but Ace is shy. I want him to stand up for himself. Yeah. And be loud about his feelings. But probably don't lead by example too much.
Well, that was my other question is like, how often do your kids see you upset or emotional?
Not emotional. Upset about things like,
sure,
why are we doing this? Why are you doing that? You know, like, that, but not emotionally upset. Yeah. Probably rarely. Very rarely.
You'll get there one day.
Yeah, one day.
Now, let's see what some of our questions are from our listeners. Okay. So specifically because I have a dad here who is a fitness guy, I did reach out to the community and say for our dads out. But so listener question, fitness post kids, finding the time. If I only have 30 minutes in a day max to do something, what should I be prioritizing? Should I be doing cardio, weights? How should I use that time?
Weights are always going to be the best if you have to pick one kind of avenue to go down. I will say though, maybe more importantly is finding something you like doing so that 30 minutes isn't a chore. Like that 30 minutes should be fun. If you like hiking, do 30 minutes of hiking. You can put a weight vest on, you can carry some weights, you can do something, but if you like it, you'll do it more often. So if you do love all fitness and you just only have 30 minutes, strength is probably your best thing. Lift some weights. You can kind of turn that into a circuit of sorts. Lift a lot of weights with little rest, and that's great for 30 minutes. Kind of like a CrossFit style thing.
Shout out CrossFit. Mm-hmm. Okay, next one. I am living the dad bod life, and I'm trying to eat better for myself and for my kids. How do you think about feeding your family?
This one's tricky because for me, I would say I don't feed my family. I feed myself and I feed my kids separately. They're two different things, which is hard. And I get it from a time perspective. Like you want to make one dinner and that you want to everyone eat the dinner.
Yeah.
But we don't do that. Erica and I are on different diet kind of plans, if you will, at various times. And the kids, obviously, we want to get them healthy food. So I would say at least breakfast, lunch, and dinner breakfast and lunch intentionally eat protein and just not a lot of extra food. That way you can, if you do want to do a family dinner, you can kind of enjoy the one. And that kind of goes back to just not being perfect. Like if you can be good 2 meals out of the day, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
I actually really like that you said that because there is, I think, a lot of social pressure on social media and stuff to have that family meal, to everyone sit down together, to have all of the people in the family eating the same thing. Mm-hmm. And that it doesn't work for my family. I have a bunch of dietary stuff that I have to consider. My husband does as well. It's just nice to hear somebody say, we don't do that. It doesn't work for us.
Yeah. And we're always there. It's not like one person's in the bedroom eating, it's like we're always together, but
we might not be eating the same things.
We might not be eating the same things, yeah.
And this actually brings us to the last thing that I wanted to talk about, which we'll first get into it with protein. Mm-hmm. You love protein. I love protein. I am less than a year into my increased protein journey at the recommendation of my nutritionist. Mm-hmm. And the first question I'm going to ask you is, how much protein do you think about for adults that they should be sort of consuming? Like, what's the calculation you do? Everybody has a slightly different take on this.
I do a gram per pound.
Okay.
That you weigh.
So that's on the higher end.
It's on the higher end. And it's twofold for me because I think, especially for women, just because of the diets that are traditionally have been sold to women. Yeah. Adding protein and a lot of protein makes such a humongous difference on your body composition, how you look, how you move, how you feel, how you perform. It's humongous. And oftentimes you don't have to change anything else. Yeah. Because you're eating so much protein. You're full, and no one overeats on chicken breast.
Sure don't.
You don't. You're just going to eat till you're good and then you're done. Yeah. And so it kind of controls so many things. I mean, we hear so much about this quote intuitive eating. Yeah. Well, you can actually kind of do that if it's high protein, because you do just eat till you're full. Yeah. If you feel like you need some carbs, you'll probably have a few, but like having that protein as your filler makes everything else so much easier. Totally. And so that's also why I prefer to be on the high end if I'm recommending to someone. And if you shoot high and you're a little short, it's great. If you're right at the minimum and you're short, then we're below what we want. So I always prefer to shoot high, and I like protein things, so it's easy.
When I asked Erica, I'm like, what the fuck am I going to make this Adonis of health for his sweet treat? And she's like, meat stick? I'll get there. Next time I'll figure out how to dehydrate you a meat stick. And then for kids, because obviously Bad Badger has just officially launched.
Yeah.
It's in the marketplace.
It's in the marketplace. And it is a hot chocolate that it's low calorie, high protein. And it just came from, with breakfast, they always want treats with any meal. It's always treat. So I just got sick of saying no all the time. And, breakfast is a great example. They want the waffles and syrup and they want a cup of hot chocolate. And it's like, no, you can have one or the other. And that just led me to thinking, like, what if there was a better version of all of these things? And so the first product is hot chocolate. That's just 60 calories, 10 grams of protein, and it tastes like, I don't know, Swiss Miss or whatever, one of those. So that's that.
And do you think about, like, the similar 1 pound to weight for kids as well?
Probably a little bit less. I try to have, like, a third of their plate be protein.
Yeah.
And I want them to eat protein. And so every single meal, and I do it for myself too, I make sure that if they're snacking on something, there's protein there.
Yeah.
And even if they want some chips, that's fine, but have some turkey with it.
Yeah.
Have a protein bar. Have something with protein in it. And so they're pretty good about it. And it could just be chicken, whatever it is, there's just protein.
Yeah.
So probably a little less. I think more every meal. If you can have some sort of protein for your kids, that's great.
Well, I think that's why I was so excited. I actually, when I first saw Bad Badger, I didn't realize it was you. So I just saw Bad Badger and I messaged Erica and I was like, tell these people to send me shit because protein's our biggest challenge right now. My son is in a selective eating stage. He won't eat almost anything, but he'll have like my protein drinks.
Yeah.
Or he'll have peanut butter, basically. So I was so excited to see that, like, just to take it off of like my worry plate mentally and just say like, okay, like I am making him feel full.
Yep.
Ultimately, that's what I want. And then if he wants to have cucumbers and white rice for dinner, I'm not absolutely spiraling.
No, you're fine. Totally. And we do that too. Same, like we'll come home from sports and one of them won't be hungry. And I'm like, well, you should be. You just did all this stuff all day. You haven't eaten since lunch. So it's like, what sounds good? And they'll want an apple. Okay, apple and hot chocolate. Great. We got a little of both. And like, yeah, like you said, I don't feel guilty then. It's like, okay, you're not starving, but we had enough sustenance. Yeah. And so that's the thing. And our kids wouldn't eat our protein shakes. Right. That was kind of the thing is like, I'm like, oh, I'll just make my chocolate protein shake and I'll warm it up for you. And they don't want it.
Yeah, that sounds terrible. I don't want that either.
They don't want it. So, that was part of it is like the branding is, it says there's protein in it, but it's pretty much the branding is
hot chocolate
geared for kids to want and hot chocolate.
Yeah, it's fun. And have you thought about what the next products are going to be?
I have a couple ideas. The process of the food lab process, the sampling process is extensive, tedious and it's just really time consuming. So I have a couple ideas floating around, but I'm going to probably go to them and say, okay, what's the shortest timeline or what are you most confident you can get right really quickly? And so there's a couple things in the pipeline.
Well, if you need taste testers, let us know. We'll sign up.
I love, I always get samples and like, it's great to have other opinions.
Yeah. And we have a lot in this house.
Yeah.
Charlie, this has been so much fun. It's been such a great opportunity to meet the other half of a story that we've had on the pod. And I'm looking forward. I'll put in the show notes today a link to Bad Badger, a link to your online workouts, because those are still available for people, and anything else Charlie thinks that we should know about. But this has been so wonderful. Thank you
so much. This was a blast.
I asked you a lot of personal questions, and you survived.
I survived. Yeah. I try to be an open book.
Team, I need your help. If you love it here, please like and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. Subscribe to the Substack for full access to this episode's show notes and join the discussion. And of course, follow me on Instagram at mutha, MUTHA.life for a daily look at all things mother. Thanks for listening. Be sure to tune in next week for another Chat in the Closet. This podcast was produced by Mother Life, music by Ronan Landa. See you next time.